You know, I want nothing more than just a little bit of a storyline to go along with these GRCs, the Global Racers Cup, whatever that truly means. We could tell it takes place in Radiator Springs as Willys Butte is in the background, which I find pretty cool, but how does that all come together? We know it unites not only the World Grand Prix racers once again, but also brings in some Piston Cup next gens like Cruz Ramirez and Jackson Storm. Again, I love that, but how does that work? Who orchestrates it? Who is kind of the host? Maybe it's McQueen because it is in Radiator Springs, but just give us something to chew on. Back in 2013, they did do a Neon Racers book. It was quick, short, simple, but it was great. It added some necessary context to the diecast that we're buying. Gives a little bit more of a reason to buy them past just some cool designs. Now, that being said, these are really cool designs. I think may even be better than Carnival Racers. Some of you might think they're better than the Carbon Racers, which is highly regarded, but I love these. I think Carla might be the best of the bunch so far, but I just want a little bit extra. Like, come on, I'll write it. Get someone to illustrate it. It'll sell. 15 pages. That's all we need. That's all I'm asking for, guys. All right, but anyways, welcome back. This is our first review of 2024 Singles Case J, which I just reviewed the other day. Link in the description below and card session pop-up. We are going to have a blast going through all these cars. You have a new Clown, Van Campbell, new Justin Roadritter variant. Shu Todoroki from the GRC is in here as well, and there are two Carla Velosos, but yeah, Shu Todoroki, who was released as a 2-pack, is back. And you also have Manji, a brand new Tokyo Mater variant. So all in all, a great case. And it might even be better than Case H, which was also really solid. My only gripe is, where are they? At least in the US. Case J has only been found in Australia and Greece so far. So big thanks to Astro Smokey for helping me get these. But Case H as well, only found in Mexico, Australia, Canada, and Greece. And I think maybe now just hitting Smith stores in the UK, but nothing here in the US yet. Just barely getting Case G, it feels. But either way, let's dive right on in with Mrs. Veloso here, or Miss Veloso. Again, love the artwork that they're doing for these. They are the same poses that we're used to, but they have the new designs all appropriated on there. It looks great. Obviously new for 2024. We already talked about how you have Willys Butte in the background, which it's a nice touch. It's like, that's a really cool background. I love the style of the track here within the desert. You got some empty stands over here, which isn't great. I would like if they filled them up a little bit, but yeah, the GRC 8 logo. You have the name tag on the bottom, which is how they're doing it for these. You have the notched card back, which is different than what we're used to seeing from, you know, any other mainline single, which is just straight. On the back, you have the other singles they've done so far in the GRC. Lightning McQueen, Francesco, they were in Case H. We both reviewed them. And Shu Todoroki, who's in this case, and that 2-pack we were talking about. This line will grow quite a bit before the end of the year. We're getting Raul, Max, Miguel, Cruz, and Jackson Storm all before the year is over. And yeah, I don't think too many of them will be hard to find, like McQueen and Francesco, probably Shu as well. But yeah, some of the later ones that are only released as singles, like Max Chanel, he might get a little difficult to find. Might get a little hairy for him, but either way, I'm going to open up Carla Veloso now and check her out. Here she is out of the package. She looks great. I do think she may end up being my favorite when it's all said and done. I do want to show the GRC concept art that has been revealed. It just shows Lightning McQueen, but it does reveal that there was a different name originally in place for this line, and they end up switching to GRC. Really cool. I like the pose of McQueen there. That would have been better art than what they gave us because it's just a little different. But yeah, unfortunately, we don't have any other images of Carla or any of the other racers for that matter outside of what's on the card backs because, like I was talking about, there is no like storyline, no book, obviously no short. I wasn't even going to go there. I mean, a short, like a little Disney Plus short, 3-4 minutes. Hell yeah, but I don't even get greedy enough to talk about that. I just want a 15-page, little book, man, come on. All right, but yeah, Carla looks great. I will be doing a little bit of a side-by-side comparison here with the original Chinese variant of her, and as you can see, she became a unibody a long time ago. You can see the crack right there for the mouth plate. She now is just one full solid metal piece, which is fantastic. Less plastic. The splitter down here, which thanks to Someone on my last video with Francesco told me that this was the splitter. Like, I know what a splitter is. Like, if you asked me what this was, I would say a splitter. But this, I guess it makes sense for it to be a splitter, but for whatever reason, because it like looks a little different, I was not thinking it was a splitter. But I literally bought a new splitter for my own car last year, so I should very much so know what a splitter is. But yeah, at least we got now on Carla here, and it's changed from the darker blue to a lighter blue, and it looks really good. It accentuates like the GRC theme colors. And yeah, I like how they kind of took her usual Brazilian design and GRC-ified it. And what I mean by that is giving it the hexagonal pattern within. That is just so creative to me, putting it within the green swirls, whatever you want to call it, the nice patterns there, just kind of combining the best of both worlds. Looks really good. It's a great shade of like teal green, just beautiful. And as per usual, you know, a great kind of gradient fade back to the darker blue. But let's take a look at her decals here first. You have the GRC 8 decal, and then this kind of elongated GRC text logo, which I don't believe I've really seen that version of it before. Like, they have included many versions of the GRC logo. Like here, there's one with like a little checkered board finish. There's the one that's encapsulated in the circle. Here's one on Shu Todoroki, which is completely different in terms of coloration and also doesn't have the trim, the outline around the text. So yeah, they have been changing up the GRC logo quite a bit, and I like that. I mean, it's keeping things fresh. It allows each racer to kind of their own design, like their own personality shine through within the structure of the GRC. So that's really cool. She does have some contingency sponsors back here: Rev, Ride, Revioli, and Petrola. And also, some great viewers let me know that those all do appear at some point in Cars 2. Some in Porto Corsa, some in Tokyo, some in London, some in all three or both, which is awesome. Not only is that a great callback to Cars 2, but just, you know, letting us know like, hey, we remember that stuff. Like, don't worry. And we're still implementing it on our current stuff, which is great. I love it. I love that so much. I'm glad they're not just new. I mean, that would be cool too, but like a new fabricated sponsor, something they actually took from the movies. I do love these wheels. Just a nice, clean yellow multi-spoke there. Lots of spokes. But yeah, kind of similar to what she had going before with the blue, but obviously you have the black gaps now, which looks a lot better. But yeah, she's always had some really cool wheels, like the yellow tires with the gray. And I love the carbon ones with the blue trim along the silver. They're really cool. And yeah, just great. I love that design there on her roof. She's got some really cool cavities here. And they did get the paint all the way in there. And Thailand, we know, struggles when they have to paint within crevices and cavities. They tend to leave a lot of it kind of unpainted. I mean, here, it's a good example. This is not even like a crevice or anything, but these like side view mirror little doodads here, you can see how much white is still on the sides of them. The tops are nice and red, but the sides barely got touched by the good old paint sprayer, so that kind of stinks. Ooh, is that a little sneaky Global Racers Cup tax logo underneath the wing? That is so cool. I love that. I don't think she's ever had like a decal there at all. That's really cool. You can also see how these swirls kind of transform into the hexagonal pattern and it becomes more prominent the deeper back you go. She always used to have kind of like a matrixy design, all these little dots here. That's really cool. Now you got the hexagonal stuff. The wing looks so much bigger, but that's because it's not the same color as the body and doesn't blend in as much, but it is the same wing. And I love it though. This thing is wacky. It's exotic. I love the yellow. Great GRC logo there. And you also have the flares on the side in a completely different color. Like you have that dark blue. So it kind of like comes up from the body and then you have the yellow petals there. So good. So good. That's probably the best feature about her. Like if she had like a more boring wing, she would be a little farther down on my list. But yeah, this is awesome. I'm a huge enthusiast here of Carla. Yeah. That's awesome. Will she be better than McQueen, though? I mean, that is the real question. McQueen's so good. I will say, I mean, she's at least my second favorite right now because she's definitely better than Francesco and Shu. I really thought Francesco would be my favorite going into it, but a couple of things I just was not fully impressed with. Not to say I didn't like him. I like him a lot, but Yeah, Shu Todoroki I was a little bummed about, although his new expression is really good. Carla has slightly a new expression, I guess. But yeah, let's compare it to some of the other Transcontinental Race of Champions variations of her. You have the Carnival version, which was the most recent in 2016. Probably the most similar in terms of just color scheme, because there's a little bit more of a yellow presence on the Carnival one as there is on the GRC. I really think Mattel did a great job with all these Transcontinental Race of Champions racers. You have Carbon here, which, as far as the Carbon racers go, she wasn't one of my favorites, but, I mean, I love how it just fades into straight gray, like gunmetal Carbon in the back, which is really sweet. I do wish they gave her, like, a new wing, though. They should have given just, like, everyone a new wing at that point, like, because they kind of gave, like, 2/5 of the racers new wings. I know McQueen got one. Rip, Francesco, Miguel, I think Jeff did, but Lewis Hamilton, so maybe about half. But I know Max Schnell, Carla, Rip Klichkonski, I mentioned him. So Raul, Carla, Shu, and Nigel did not get new spoilers. I think that's what it was. You have the ice racer, Carla Veloso. Really nice. I would not be surprised if they re-release like ice racers or something in the future. Would not be surprised one bit. And maybe that's because Tomica started doing some ice racers this year and it kind of like reignited everyone's taste in it. Maybe Mattel will do Carbon because they're like, oh, shoot. Tomica started with the ice. We got to do something different. We can't do the same thing they're doing. And here you have the Silver Racer, which was kind of retroactively made a transcontinental race, even though it really should never have been. It really is just a silver version of the regular World Grand Prix version, or of all the racers for that matter. But yeah, when they did them in 2012, they just were their own standalone, like special edition silver racers. But when they re-released them in 2015, which was then kind of like wedged in between neon and ice and kind of just a medley of it all, they retroactively, they were like, oh yeah, this is a transcontinental race of champions. And it's like, well, no, it's not. You're just saying that to kind of re-theme it in a cool way. But they have the exact same decals, so it can't be. But yeah, guys, that is all we have here for GRC Carla Veloso. She looks fantastic. She looks ravishing, for that matter. Yeah, I mean, I like Francesco, but he just didn't live up to the expectations I had for him. And maybe it's my fault because I had some pretty lofty expectations for him. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't decided between her and McQueen yet. We're just going to leave it undecided for now. But both are sweet. You also have Shu, who's not that bad. But yeah, we'll see how it all falls in the end. You know, we got quite a few more of these to go and hopefully more in 2025. We'll see you guys next time. Bye now.